So far, it doesn't seem like many Republican senators are taking John Bolton's accusations very seriously, but there is the possibility that Republican voters will take it seriously. But for that to happen, it first has to be filtered through the digestive tract of Fox News. So let's see what their take is on this whole thing. First, the most important news show on the face of the earth, Fox and Friends.
If John Bolton's lawyers are telling the truth here and they just submitted it in and it's leaked out, if that is indeed the case, more evidence that people within the administration are actually against the administration. And the other thing is devastating timing, because this thing was on the fast track to closing out without witnesses on Friday. Right. Only Mitt Romney pretty much saying, I want to see witnesses. Everybody else saying, I've heard enough. And now this gives fuel to the Senator Schumers of the world, the Adam Schiffs of the world to say, I need a witness, and he wants to testify.
But when you say devastating timing, it's got to be a coincidence, right? That it would come out just hours before the Senate impeachment is going to start at 1 o'clock.
What I love about that is you get so much deception on Fox News that when they're honest, and only like the simplest ones, like he's like, devastating timing. We were almost done with this. Like he's being honest. Well, he really thought that they were almost done with it.
They're admitting that they're just basically trying to cover up the crime.
Yeah.
And that this pesky little John Bolton guy or someone within the administration is not helping them cover up the crime. Mm-hmm. Like it's blatant. Like I mean, you gotta admire it, to be honest. I mean, and you know what the sad reality is, that they're probably right in that people don't care. Like they don't care about whether he did the crime or not. They care about whether he can get away with it. Mm-hmm. And this is just they're just laying it out perfectly.
Mm-hmm. It's like, and I hate to keep referring back to this, but it's like the cheating scandal happened in baseball, right?
Yeah.
So there's guys on the team that are no longer on the team that then told, call him a whistleblower. So afterwards, some people were upset at the pitcher from that team that decided to tell about what was going on, and like, hey, he played with those guys. He was in practice with those guys. He went in the trenches with those guys. They won a championship together. They gritted it out. How dare he flip on them? Mm-hmm. That's sports, bro.
Yeah.
This is something completely different, but that's our problem. Again, maybe the 700th time I'll say it. We take politics in this country from a general voter's perspective as being something that we do like it's a sporting event.
It's entertainment. It's the reality TV show that we watch every day. We have our little cast of characters, and we like these guys, and we want those guys to win and those guys to lose. That's what this is, and that's what most of politics is, sadly, in this country.
Yeah. The sports analogy is so robust, and it frustrates me because it's the analogy I want to be true least. Like if it was we treat politics like we treat board games, I would be like set. I'm ready to go political commentary. Not so much with the sports thing, but it's totally true. In sports, as in politics, if the crime they were trying to commit was to win, and all you want is for them to win, you're kind of not going to take it that seriously. Like, yes, and with Trump, it's like, yeah, he wants to win so that he can protect me, so he's willing to do anything, including break the rules. I want him to do that. That's how much he cares about protecting me. If you're deluded, that can make sense. Now, what's interesting is that with Kilmeade right there, he was sort of honest. They're not even trying to hide that they just want to cover up, and that is going to hold true as well with Rush Limbaugh. So before we get to that, though, first of all, here is Rush Limbaugh's frustration with the fact that John Bolton is now being not even defended, but just talked about by people who traditionally don't like him.
Something else that's not on anybody's mind is John Bolton. Most people don't know who he is, especially with all the coverage of the Kobe Bryant helicopter crash. But even before that, when Bolton's name was in the media, they hated him. They despised Bolton. They hated Bolton's mustache, folks. They hated Bolton because they thought he mistreated women. He was a bully in the workplace. Whenever any Republican wanted John Bolton in the ambassadorial service or anywhere in the national security apparatus, the Democrat Party went literally bat crazy because they hated the guy. And they hated the guy because he was a hawk. They hated the guy because he was aligned with the neocons.
he wasn't aligned with the neocons. He was a neocon. And yes, I hate him.
Of the neocon.
I hate him because he was a hawk. But like that word is pulling a lot of weight there. He's not a bird. He wanted us to go to war with virtually every country on the planet. He wanted us to nuke North Korea. He wants war with Iran. These are not small disagreements. They're significant. Millions of lives are on the line. He also, in terms of like, they had an issue with him being part of our ambassadorial squad or whatever. Yeah, he made a joke about blowing up the UN. That should be disqualifying, I think.
John Bolton was single-handedly responsible when he was a member of the Bush administration for scuttling peace with North Korea, which was this close to happening. And John Bolton made it his personal mission to block that peace agreement that Clinton had more or less agreed upon with North Korea. So yeah.
See, this is one of your petty issues with him.
Yeah, like whatever, who cares? The peace in the Korean Peninsula is something that would be a world historic event. It's just a little disagreement.
Yeah,
it's a consistent move, and we talked about how Sean Hannity was listing Trump's accomplishments, scrolling them during last week's impeachment hearing. So then, of course, it is the same thing. If you list someone's accomplishments, and if you listen closely, it's all about the tone. So for many of his listeners who are listening, like, yeah, look at all those things that they hated John Bolton for. But if you listen to what those things were, instead of being like an empty-minded listener here, you'd be like, yeah, that's pretty bad. Oh yeah, he did that too. Man, maybe these Democrats and libs were onto something and hating this guy.
Yeah.
Because all those things are not good.
Now, I did say that we're gonna have him being totally honest, and we do have that. For the first time ever, Rush Limbaugh is going to be honest on his show. Take a look at how little he cares about the truth in what actually happened with Trump and Ukraine.
So I've had dinner with John Bolton a couple times. I've met him 2 or 3 times. And if this passage in the book is true, and this is actually what he's intending, it's not the John Bolton I thought I knew. This kind of disloyalty. And you may say, well, Royce is not disloyal. He's simply telling the truth. The president didn't want to give him. Yeah, but it is disloyal.
The truth, what actually happened, reflection of objective reality. Nah, I care about loyalty more. That's the most honest I've ever seen him be.
And you know what? He's right in that most people don't actually care about corruption. Like they obviously say they do care about corruption, but they don't care about corruption so long as the person who is doing the corruption is on their side, right? Or perceived to be on their side. I mean, I think most people assume that politicians are corrupt. I think most people assume that politicians enrich themselves in all manner of ways. But as long as the politician can signal that, I'm doing all the bad stuff, but I'm on your side. I'm looking out for your interests. Most people are okay with that.
It's part of the mask that we've allowed to be unveiled here. It's like, hey, I can go ahead and say, who cares about the truth? Literally, that's all they said. Yeah, sure, you're gonna say he uncovered the truth, but who cares about that? And then people will nod their heads and continue to let it go. I don't know how to undo it, but it's we're not getting there anymore.
Lyndon Johnson became a politician as one of the poorest people to ever get involved in politics, and left. As when he stopped being president, he was a multimillionaire. He was hideously corrupt, but he kept on winning elections because he would told the people in the Hill Country in Texas, where he was from, that I brought electricity to the Hill Country, and that guaranteed a victory in every single one of his elections, no matter what.
Yeah.
And so because he could signal, listen, yeah, those guys are saying that I'm enriching myself, and don't listen to them. I brought you electricity.
Yeah.
And that works. It really does.
And this is some of the problems. I'm sorry when there was some Republican politician, I think he's a senator, who also threatened and said, hey, they can call some witnesses, but we're gonna call Biden, and we're gonna call Hunter, and then we're gonna call Joe, and then we're gonna call Hillary, and then we're gonna call Obama. This was literally said on Fox News, and this is why this shows where their mindset comes from. They think that means Democrats or libs are gonna go, oh, man, don't do that. You know who's not my father? Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton. I don't care if they did something, which is completely unrelated to this. I don't care if you go after them, go after them. If you go after everyone else, but you think this is some kind of thing where libs wanna just hold on because that's what you do, is no matter what my guy's done, it's okay with me. Yeah. Again, you can keep coming back and saying, well, what if we come after your guys? Hey, my father's name is Don Jackson. He's not up for any kind of investigation, so I don't mind.
But what if he was? We're gonna look into you. Oh, we can't send Ken Klippenstein anymore. Damn. Okay, so finally on this, those FOIAs would have come fast.
Yeah. Was it Ken Krasenstein?
Exactly. Yeah. You got it right there. So tyt.com/snitch. Do you think enough Republicans will defect to make Bolton testify? We'll give you updates on that a little bit later on. and you're seeing it right there. Super easy. You click yes, you click no. It couldn't be any easier. There's no maybe, okay? Take a stand for once in your life.
No comment, maybe. I don't have enough information to have an answer.
Just think about it. Go to tyt.com/snitch.
Don't miss your chance to win a trip to Los Angeles and have dinner with Cenk, John, and me. Just head to tyt.com/dinnerinla to register to win. Sign up for a free Aspirations spend and save account. Then you just register your eligibility and swipe your Aspiration card daily on purchases to gain entries. Not only are you entering to win a trip to Los Angeles and dinner with TYT hosts, you're also not depositing your hard-earned money into fossil fuel exploration or production. As a friendly reminder, even if you already have an Aspiration account, you must still register for eligibility into the sweepstakes.